of my last videos, I talked about the difference between true safety and false safety in the nervous system. And today I want to build on that because I've noticed that once people understand this distinction, the next question is always, well, okay, but how do I actually live this? So, how do I take this idea of nervous system safety and turn it into something practical, something that actually changes how I receive opportunities, growth, and expansion in my life? So we hear a lot about nervous system safety, but what does this actually mean when it comes to everyday life? And true safety isn't about staying comfortable. It isn't about avoiding challenge or keeping everything predictable. True safety is felt as this eternal stability. And I know you know what this feels like because you have it most likely in certain areas of your life. And it's that sense that where you can stay present even when things feel unfamiliar and you don't have to shut down. And so when your nervous system feels this kind of deep safety, then naturally the capacity to receive actually expands. And then this is what we hear a lot about, magnetism. And magnetism isn't something that you're going to force, but it's and it isn't something you're going to perform. But it's this quiet confidence. It's this byproduct of your nervous system being really fine-tuned and regulated. And when your system feels safe enough, you stop broadcasting fear, contraction, or self-protection. You can notice those things. So I notice when my fear comes up. I notice when contraction wants to come up. But because I've been working on nervous system regulation, I can feel safe enough to witness those things and to choose differently. And so instead I can broadcast presence, trust, and coherence. And so that's what's important to understand here is that your nervous system, it learns through experience, right? Not through logic. So you have to have these experiences. You can know you're safe and still not feel safe. So in that way, we're building this true safety and not through major declarations or huge leaps forward. You actually want to do it in small, consistent practices. And you're kind of saying to your nervous system, I'm here, I'm listening, and I can handle whatever is arising. So one of the simplest ways to start is with short daily check-ins. And this can be a few minutes of sitting quietly, not to fix anything, not to calm yourself down, but to actually just simply notice, okay, like, where am I right now? What are the quality of my thoughts? What is the quality of my nervous system right now? Am I feeling rushed? Am I feeling agitated? Am I feeling contracted? Am I feeling open, heavy, neutral? And the goal isn't really to change what you notice, but the goal is to build a relationship with your internal state so that you can really understand yourself better and understand in what situations do you feel, what are you feeling? So mindful movement can also help support this. Really taking mindful, like quiet walks, meaning not without listening to podcasts or music or not scrolling, taking out the distraction, the noise, having less input, and then the body actually starts to communicate more clearly, or the body is actually always communicating, but we're often not listening. And then this is when I've noticed as well that these insights arise, and it's not from thinking, but it's from sensing. And it always hits me when I'm in these moments of in between and I'm just silent, and then I'll hear something like, you should go do this, or check on this person, or how is this thing happening? And so instead of asking like, what should I do? You could ask, where do I feel openness today? Where do I feel contraction today? Am I feeling drained right now? Am I feeling nourished right now? And so another important piece of building this safety is kind of testing yourself in low risk ways. So I don't really want you to jump into the fire and have everything feel overwhelming. So we can build our expansion through small little experiences or small little experiments. And then it teaches the nervous system, like I was able to do that and I'm still okay. And do I feel safe? Do I feel grounded still in this moment? So every time your nervous system has an experience like that, then the trust begins to build. Not mental trust, but we're talking about the body, the somatic feeling, that trust. So your body starts to learn that growth doesn't automatically equal danger. So over time, you'll also begin to feel the difference between choices that are made from fullness or choices that are made from scarcity. So I remember really tuning into this years ago and asking myself the question often before I'm making a big choice: am I making this choice out of fear right now, or am I making this choice because I'm excited or I'm curious about doing this new thing? And then that way you don't feel rushed and you don't feel pressure. And over time, your nervous system starts to feel more regulated and you can discern. And then actually discernment, what I noticed, becomes clearer, right? So you're not actually saying yes to everything, but you're also not closing yourself off to fear, because oftentimes we just close off. It's like a first no to something because we're scared, but we're scared because we don't feel safe in that situation because it triggers something from the past. So you become available to what's aligned because your system trusts its ability to handle what comes. And this is why nervous system work isn't just about self-care. It's basically foundational to alignment. When safety becomes your baseline, then receiving becomes natural. Then opportunities don't feel threatening, right? They feel workable. Because sometimes we can get an opportunity and we're like, oh my God, I'm so scared. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I remember the first time I received the opportunity to do a live sound bath in front of a group of people. There certainly was the mind trying to tell me that I don't want to do this, or because it didn't feel safe, right? To put myself out there to be seen. But as I kept working with my nervous system and just listening and taking a step back, I was able to see the mind chatter over. Maybe there was a tightness in the body, but that's just old fears of not being loved or not being unconditionally loved and not being seen and being judged. And the only way to distinguish that is to remove a lot of distractions so you can listen to what is really true safety and what is false. So if this resonates, this is the foundation of the work that I'm guiding people through right now inside the Embodied Manifestor, and working one-on-one with people and helping them learn and to listen more closely to the cues around them and what their body is saying to them and what their mind is saying to them, and having that discernment and then choosing, because at the end of the day, it all comes down to choosing. Thank you for being here.